Today's video addresses why the Commission decided to take out the proposed language in paragraph 9 of the contract that allowed the buyer to extend closing if the lender had to provide additional disclosures mandated by the new TRID rules. This language was proposed to alleviate the problem of the buyer being in default because the closing was delayed due to the new timing rules of the closing disclosure. First of all, the proposed language anticipated that the initial closing disclosure would be delivered in time for the closing to take place as scheduled. To have delayed closing because the lender didn't timely perform would have been chaotic, and not unlike the provision we had years ago that allowed the closing to be extended 15 days for the lender to do their paperwork. More often than not, the lenders used that extended time. The proposed language was actually to take care of a situation where once the initial CD was issued, if changes had to be made, the buyer could have an additional 10 days to close. The intent was to allow for any waiting period required under TRID. The problem with the proposed language was that any change to the CD allowed the buyer to buy himself an additional 10 days to close, when most changes do not require a waiting period. Changes can be and are made frequently between the time the initial disclosure and closing, and there is no delay. There are only 3 changes that require a new disclosure and a waiting period. They are, first, the changes that are made are fees that are considered part of the finance charge on the loan and, when added together, affect the annual percentage rate by more than 1/8%. Considering that the fees have to be considered a finance charge and the fees are spread over the term of the loan, 15 or 30 years, this is a significant change and rarely happens. The second change is that the loan product changes, and I'll come back to that in a moment. The third change is that the lender adds a prepayment penalty to the loan after the initial CD is disclosed. That is not going to happen, or that lender won't be in business long. It is the second change that could happen and affect the waiting period. But the thought was, did we really want to give the buyer an additional 10 days when he decides at the last minute to change his loan product? For instance, go from a 5/1 ARM to a 30-year fixed, or vice versa. The Commission believed this is not something we should allow the buyer to do. Buyers must commit to their loan product at least 10 days in advance. This video is to explain why the proposed language in paragraph 9 of the new contract was not ultimately adopted, and to also suggest that any language added to special provisions to extend closing for a similar purpose be reviewed and considered carefully. These videos are to help educate you on the issues of the day. I hope you find them of value and that Allegiance Title becomes your resource for results. As a reminder, Allegiance Title is bringing Verl Workman to North Texas, presenting a seminar on becoming the greatest salesman in the world. For more information, stay tuned.
How many of you are ready to take it up about 10 notches and let's just rock? Who's ready to go?
You're invited to join Allegiance Title Thursday, February 4th for a workshop with Verl Workman entitled Become the Greatest Salesman in the World. Our first class will be at the Richardson Civic Center from 9 till noon. Our second class, the Hearst Convention Center from 1:30 to 4:30. This class is designed for real estate agents who want to grow their business. For more information, visit our website and watch Verl Workman's video. You may also register for the class at allegiancetitle.com. Classes are filling up quickly, and you must pre-register to attend. Allegiance Title Company, your resource for results.